We counted coins on the kitchen floor, tried to split rent 3 ways again. Your shoes by the door every night made that place feel less empty. Sometimes the power cut out, so we sat by the window and waited, watching people pass below, making plans we couldn't afford yet. But you kept drawing future lines on receipts and paper bags, little things like curtains, plants we probably killed. And every slow day after work you still looked at me the same, like nothing around us mattered if we stayed close. We'd built tomorrow from nothing, just tired eyes and 2 hearts away. No easy road, no perfect timing, still we found a way. We built tomorrow from nothing, piece by piece in that little room. Now every quiet morning with you feels like something new. There was one old chair by the table, so you sat while I leaned nearby. Cheap takeout, getting cold while the rain touched the fire escape. Some nights you fell asleep first, with the TV still glowing blue. I'd pull the blanket higher and stay there listening to you breathe. Years move soft and slowly, not like movies, not like dreams, just train rides, tired weekends, and learning what love really means. You held me through the worst parts, I held you when your world went dark. We kept building little by little, even when it felt too hard. We built tomorrow from nothing, just tired eyes and 2 hearts away. No easy road, no perfect timing, still we found a way. We built tomorrow from nothing, piece by piece in that little room. Now every quiet morning with you feels like something new. Maybe that's all we needed, a place to come back to. Not much in our pockets, but enough between us two. And I still see that first apartment every time you smile at me, like all those years are still alive, somewhere in the walls we keep. We built tomorrow from nothing, slow days turning into home. And after everything behind us, I still choose you most. Little things became too sharp, closing doors, tired reactions, long days pulling at our patience, till we barely touched at all. Still you waited up for me, even when we stopped talking. 2 shadows in the kitchen light, trying not to lose the feeling. Outside people laugh downstairs, cars roll slowly through the street. Life kept moving like nothing changed, while we stayed stuck in between. But every night before sleeping, one of us would finally break, and the other would move closer, like love still knew the way. We were fighting for us in silent nights, holding on when nobody could see. No big our phones, talking like we used to talk before life became so heavy. We were fighting for the silent nights, holding on when nobody could see. No big drama, no goodbye, just two hearts too scared to leave. We were fighting for us in silent nights, trying hard to sound okay. And somehow through all the distance, you still reach for me the same. Maybe love is less about perfection, more about staying in the room. Even when the air feels heavy, even when you don't know what to do, you stay, I stay too. Little by little, the silence stopped hurting. We were fighting for us in silent nights. Now the room feels warm again, not because the world got easier, we just learned how to bend. Everything kept breaking then. Jobs disappeared, calls stopped coming. Friends got quiet one by one. Days turned strange and blurry, but you still folded my clothes, still left the lamp on for me, still asked if I slept okay, like small things could save somebody. There was a window near the sink where the city lights look faded. We used to stand there after midnight, talking soft so nothing shattered. And somehow your voice stayed warm, even when the room felt cold. I think that's when I realized you were the only thing holding on. Your heart stayed when the world left, when the noise went dark around me. You stayed close, you stayed soft, you stayed when I had nothing. Your heart stayed when the world left, like a light inside the apartment. No big words, no grand plans, just your hands still reaching for mine. Morning came through dusty blinds. You were making coffee slowly, wearing one of my old shirts, half awake and smiling at me. I remember thinking then maybe life could still get better. Not all at once, not like magic, just little pieces held together. We started laughing more again, started opening the curtain, started leaving music on, started feeling less uncertain. And every tired part of me learned to breathe beside your love. Not because the world got easier, you just never gave up. Your heart stayed when the world left, when the noise went dark around me. You stayed close, you stayed soft, you stayed when I had nothing. Your heart stayed when the world left, like a light inside the apartment. No big words, no grand plans, just your hands still reaching for mine. I still think about those nights, hearing traffic through the walls, two people holding each other while everything else disappears. is all, then maybe that was enough. Maybe that was what saved us. Not fixing every broken thing, just refusing to leave. Your heart stayed when the world left, and I still feel it now. Every quiet morning, after every small and steady sound. Everybody had opinions, said we were too young to last, said distance changes everything, said love gets tired too fast. Your mother stopped asking about me, mine stayed quiet for a while. Even our friends got careful every time they saw us fight, but we kept finding small ways back. Late calls after heavy days, photos sent from crowded buses, songs playing at the same time. Some nights misunderstanding one, we hung up hurt and frustrated. And one message always came: are you still awake? Two souls against the current, still moving side by side. Even when the world pulled harder, you stayed in my life. Two souls against the current, oh, oh, holding on through every tide. Long roads, hard talks, quiet tears, still you stay tonight. Winter settled on the city, your coat hanging by my chair. You finally came for one whole weekend, and suddenly the room could breathe. We walked down empty side streets, sharing fries from paper trays, laughing over old mistakes like they belong to someone else. You told me you were tired too, tired of proving what we felt. So I held your hand more tightly, right there beside the traffic light. And for the first time in months, nothing felt complicated, just a shoulder next to mine, and the sound of passing cars. Two souls against the current, still moving side by side. Even when the world pulled harder, you stayed in my life. Two souls against the current, oh, holding on through every tide. Long roads, hard talks, quiet tears, still you stay tonight. Maybe love is choosing forward, even after difficult days. Not perfect words or easy answers, just refusing to walk away. And every mile between us only showed me something true. No matter how rough the water felt, I kept finding you. Two souls against the current, now the morning feels so still. Your shoes by the door beside mine, and everything finally real. Back then love felt complicated. Too many sharp words after midnight. Too much pride in tiny rooms. Too many doors closed too hard. I disappeared when things got heavy. You stopped talking when you hurt. Two broken ways of protecting ourselves that only made it worse. Still somehow after every fight, one of us will call again. Voices soft and half exhausted, asking if the other got home safe. And little by little we changed, not all at once, not perfectly, just enough to keep trying. We learned love through the pain, through the nights we almost left, through the silence, through the mistakes, through the tears we never said. We learned love through the pain, holding on when it felt hard. Now every quiet morning with you feels softer in my heart. There was a rooftop near your place, where we used to sit for hours, watching trains move through downtown while the whole city stayed awake. One night you finally told me why you always fear goodbye. I held your hand beside the railing till your breathing settled slow. After that things felt different, still messy sometimes, still human, but gentler than before. You started laughing easier, I stopped hiding every feeling, and somehow all the damaged parts stopped feeling so alone. We learned love through the pain, through the nights we almost left, through the silence, through the mistakes, through the tears we never said. We learned love through the pain, holding on when it felt hard. Now every quiet morning with you feels softer in my heart. Maybe real love grows slowly, through forgiveness over time. Not because two people are flawless, but because they stay and try. And every scar we carried taught us something honest too. How to listen, how to hold on, how to finally tell the truth. We learned love through the pain. Now the city sounds far away, just your hand resting beside mine, and another calm new day. You had your ways of disappearing, I had mine too. Long silences in crowded rooms, half-finished conversations. Some days we barely touched, just moved around each other slowly, like two people scared of breaking anything that still worked. But every night came back to this one dim room, one tired feeling, and somehow staying anyway. You started leaving little notes inside my jacket pocket, small things like drive safe or text me when you get there. We were too broken to leave, too tired to start again, so we again. Sunday mornings got softer. You play records while cleaning. I watched light move across the ceiling and forgot to feel afraid. Sometimes we talk for hours about things we never told anyone. Old hurts, family scars, dreams we almost buried. You cried once in the hallway, thought I didn't hear it happen, but I stayed beside the doorway till you finally let me in. And somewhere between the bad nights and the long drives home in silence, we stopped feeling like strangers inside our own lives. We were too broken to leave, too tired to start again, so we stayed and held the pieces till they fit inside our hands. We were too broken to leave, and maybe that saved us then. Little by little, night after night, we learned how to breathe again. Maybe healing looks quiet, maybe love looks warm. Sometimes not perfect words or movie scenes, just somebody staying close. And even now I still remember how the hardest days would end. You beside me in that small room, breathing slow beside my chest. We were too broken to leave. Now the morning feels brand new. Same old world outside the window, just softer with you. Back then we worked too many hours, barely saw the weekend come. You at the diner after midnight, me still riding buses home. But every tired conversation always circle back to hope. Little plans inside notebooks, places we would go someday. You wanted walls painted blue, plants lined up near the balcony. I said I just wanted mornings that started slow beside you. Sometimes life got loud around us, bills stacked high beside the sink. Still we protected every dream like something fragile in our hands. The dreams we carried together kept us warm through difficult nights. Even when the world felt heavy, we still held on tight. The dreams we carried together never faded with the years. Step by step, side by side, you stayed close through all my fears. There was one small grocery store, open late down Cedar Avenue. We used to walk there after work, sharing one pair of headphones, talking about impossible things like they were already real, laughing at our own bad time and still believing anyway. One winter, the heat stopped working, so we stayed wrapped up for days, watching old movies on the mattress, making silence feel safe. And somehow through every setback, we carried together kept us warm through difficult nights. Even when the world felt heavy, we still held on tight. The dreams we carried together never faded with the years. Step by step, side by side, you stayed close through all my fears. Maybe love is carrying hope for the other when they can. Maybe that's why we survived it, all those slow, uncertain days. And now the mornings feel different, not because life turned perfect, just because we finally made it somewhere we once imagined. The dreams we carried together still live inside this room. Your shoes beside mine by the doorway, and sunlight on the floor at noon. Distance changed the shape of days. Long calls turning into silence. Different clocks on different walls, trying hard to meet in the middle. Some nights I walk around the block just to clear the weight inside me. Watching strangers laugh outside bars while I replay your voice again. You told me not to overthink, said we make it through the hard part, but lonely hours move too slowly when your side of the bed stays cold. Still I keep your messages safe, read them when the room gets heavy, like small proof we still exist beyond all this waiting. Still holding your name in the dark, like it's keeping my heart awake. Miles away, late at night, I still feel you next to me. Still holding your name in the dark till the morning starts to show. No matter how far this gets, I'm not letting go. Yesterday you called me laughing from some crowded downtown street. Said you finally found the record we used to play on Sunday mornings. For a minute nothing hurt, it was just us talking softly, like the distance disappeared between your breath and mine. Don't stop believing in us. Still holding your name in the dark, like it's keeping my heart awake. Miles away, late at night, I still feel you next to me. Still holding your name in the dark till the morning starts to show. No matter how far this gets, I'm not letting go. Maybe love looks different now. More phone screens than empty highways, more waiting than touching more hope than certainty. But every morning I wake up and reach for my phone first, like some part of me already knows you're still reaching too. Still holding your name in the dark while the sky turns pale and blue. One more night behind us now, one last night till you come through. There were months we barely rested, 2 jobs each and still behind. You came home with tired eyes, I kept saying we'd be fine. Some nights turned into arguments, small things hitting way too hard, and silence sitting in the kitchen like another person in the dark. But somehow every rough season always ended the same way. One of us reaching slowly, one of us deciding to stay. You still waited by the doorway when I worked too late again, still touched my hand while half asleep, like love remembered us for us. Love survived our hardest years, even when we lost ourselves. Through the tears, through the pressure, through the nights we barely held. Love survived our hardest years, somehow stronger than the fear. And every morning next to you feels softer being here. The old elevator kept breaking in that building on 9th Street, so we climbed 6 flights together, laughing halfway from defeat. One summer the car stopped running, we walked everywhere instead, talking longer after midnight, sharing headphones on the steps. You cried once at the laundromat, thought the noise would hide the sound. I just sat beside you quietly till your breathing settled down. And looking back now, none of it feels empty, because every difficult moment still had you beside me. Love survived our hardest years, even when we lost ourselves. Through the tears, through the pressure, through the nights we barely held. Love survived our hardest years, somehow stronger than the fear. And every morning next to you feels softer being here. Maybe real love looks ordinary, maybe that's the beautiful part. Not fireworks or perfect timing, just 2 people refusing to part. And after all the heavy seasons, all the way we carried through, I still wake up grateful the hard years led to you. Love survived our hardest years. Now the apartment feels calm, your shoes beside mine by the doorway, and music low while morning comes.